So we can select any one of these designs from here, or if you can pull down the whole thing, you can select from here any one. I'm going to select a simple one so that we can see the effects. You see that as soon as I clicked on that particular design theme, the theme gets applied to all the slides in my presentation. So it's a good idea to save the file right now. So since I had already saved it once before, it has already been given a name, and that is pollution new, and it has got saved under that particular heading. Now at the moment, if you see, all the slides are, we have to manually move them forwards in our presentation. So what I'm going to do is, next we'll take a look at the next tab here, which is called the transitions tab. Now in the transitions tab we can decide how one slide moves to the other slide during the running of the presentation. So there are many transitions that are available here, as you can see under the transitions tab. So I'm going to pull it down, and all these different types of transitions are available. You may pick and choose according to your requirement or liking. So for example, I'm going to say select push. So what's going to happen is, that is how that particular slide will appear. So this slide will appear as if it's pushed up from beneath. Similarly, I can select the next slide. Suppose I want it appearing as a split, or the next one as it is revealed, something like that. So we can pick and choose what kind of transition activity we would like on a particular slide. So we select from here. Accordingly, we can also select all the slides from here with the help of the shift button and apply one single transition to all of them. So if you select, say I will select maybe random bars, so the last 4 slides are going to appear as random bars. Okay, so I've selected that. I'm going to save this change that I have made, go back to the first slide and run the presentation. Now let's see what happens. As it moves, we can see that the transition, as I'm clicking the button, is moving according to the way I had selected in the transition. This is what we had done, and the land pollution, noise, plastic, and finally thank you, which came as bars. So you'll remember this is how we had selected the transition. Now this is selection of transition, and it is happening at the click of the button. We can also make it happen automatically after a certain duration by selecting the duration amount here. So what we're going to do at the moment, if you can see, the duration of each slide is 1 second, but advancing the slide is on mouse click. If we want, we can disable this and we can set an automatic advance. So I say after how many seconds, we can select it with the up arrow button here. So after 1 second or 2 seconds or 3 seconds, the slide is going to automatically advance. So this particular setting has been done for the first slide, and we should ideally do it for each slide. Or what we can also do is, in the slide sorter, click on Control A, which will select all the slides, and then select how the advancing should take place. Should it take place in after 1 second, 2 seconds? I'm going to at the moment keep, say, 4 seconds of advancing. So that means after 4 seconds, every slide will advance onto the next slide, and I don't have to click the mouse button. Let's save this change that we have done and go back to the first slide and click on the slideshow button and see how this moves. So at the moment, I am not clicking any button. The system is going to run the presentation on its own, because we've already kept a 4-second timer, and it is going to advance, transition from one slide to the next after every 4 seconds. As we can see, from air pollution it came to water in 4 seconds, and from water it goes to land in 4 seconds, and there is no manual intervention. Noise pollution and plastic pollution. So our entire presentation is on an auto run mode. That means it is going to run automatically, and finally the last slide comes. So after 4 seconds, that also goes away. So this is what transition does. You can move from one slide to another, and whether you want to move this movement or this transition to happen on a mouse click or automated after a certain number of seconds, you can choose that. So this is what the transitions tab does.